What up,
Hi,
team
everybody.
What up, what up, what up? That's
Team
the quick.
everybody. Team everybody. 30
Yes,
day journal. People.
Team journal, team self-love, team heart, team pineapple, team everything. You know, team kindness,
Quinn.
team Quinn. I'm the pineapple. I go by Happy. And today is day number 13. Day number 13.
Okay.
And it is. What does a considerate promise mean to you? And before we answer, before I ask Miss Quinn for her thoughts on it, I want to ask, have you ever even heard of a considerate promise?
Yeah.
You know, if we go back on the previous 2 days, have you ever heard of a selfish promise? Have you ever heard of a selfless promise? Right? And maybe an additional, you know, for extra credit for yourself, maybe write out what your thoughts are on have you ever thought of it? Have you ever thought of it? And lastly, have you ever heard of what a considerate promise is? And I would say it's unlikely because I made it up. I came up with it.
You're breaking down some promises.
It's one of my patents. So today is day number 13, and I want you to think about it. And like I mentioned in the tip, you know, in your journal, it says you don't have to know exactly what it means. You know, you're not supposed to know because, like I just mentioned, I created it. You know, something I just felt could properly explain what it is. So, Quinn.
Yeah.
What does a considerate promise mean to you?
It means because I think about being considerate to other people, right? But then also not ignoring your own consideration to yourself. Like, don't forget about you. Don't forget to be considerate about your feelings, about your energy. Yeah. And there's something selfish about it, right? So it's how can we be considerate to other people, right? Without feeling bitter or without feeling like eventually bitter, because you're just being considerate. Like, how many times have you complained of, man, I do this for that person, or even just now, we were at the a market to buy a drink. I opened the door for this guy. He didn't say thank you. I caught that. But see, it's not even about that.
Yeah,
it's about just being considerate. Period.
Yes.
Being considerate.
And being able to move gently as you move along this world.
Right? Not with hot temper or on edge or something like that. And I just know, like, my inside voice said that, like, he didn't even say thank you. But then as I process that, right, see, like, if I wasn't doing something good for me or being considerate of, like, my time and my energy and stuff like that, I wouldn't have had the space to just let it go. Like, what's the big deal? You know, for whatever reason, he didn't appreciate that or express thank you. That's okay. Because it's about being considerate. So when I think about considerate promise, it's something where it, like, serves you and the other person. Like, you're considerate to yourself, and therefore you're able to be considerate to other people without expecting them to be considerate back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I could vibe with that.
Yeah.
Considerate promise.
Considerate. You're something where you're able to really be a considerate person.
Right? Because I want to ask, what is a considerate promise, or what can you compare it to? You know, what can you compare, or give an example, right? What is an example of a selfish promise or selfish vow? Because, for example, I'll give you a selfless promise, right? An example of one is when people get into a marriage, when they enter that promise and they say, you know what, till death do us part, sickness and health, you know, you will be there for that partner, for that loved one, for as long as you guys are together, here physically and spiritually. See, that's an example of a selfless promise. Yeah,
because you're making that promise to someone else.
Exactly. And so, what would be an example of a selfish promise?
I don't know why I thought about money. Like,
yeah. Like,
I promise to be the wealthiest person out of my family. Let's just say that.
Or I'm gonna make the most ever.
Yeah.
You know, out of everybody that I know, everybody in this world, whatever it may be. You know, I'm gonna get that car. I'm gonna get that house. I'm gonna get that that island.
All the clothes,
Exactly.
looking cute and
Exactly.
fly. Like, it's all for you.
Right. And here's a good one that would probably resonate with a lot of athletes. I will beat everybody no matter what.
Yeah, so I will get fit.
I will be the best no matter what. Regardless if it's cycling, if it's football, basketball, golf, that's normally the mentality when athletes start out and they keep making those decisions on top of that vow, that promise, that they will be the greatest. See, that's an example of a selfish promise. And then we're here with the considerate promise.
Yeah.
And so it would be, I'm curious as to what you would write down, because this is what I'm gonna bring up on Saturday with our live, is what did you come up with your considerate promise?
Yes,
What
and you
would
have
be
the
an
graphic
example?
to support you. Just FYI, there's already a picture there where it says it leaves you with growth and the ability to help others.
Exactly.
So that's already a big hint and tip there to help you really express what a considerate promise means to you.
Right. So to sum it up, we just gave you an example of selfless, selfish, and then curious to know what your considerate promise is, or what you believe it to be.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just to express, and you can even discuss it with a friend, as it says in the tip.
Exactly, because the whole reasoning behind this video, this question, is to become aware of what your promise actually looks like, and that's what we're going to cover in the next video.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Is to see what the elements of your promise, so you could actually be aware of what it actually is.
Yes.
And then you can make the adjustment.
Perfect.
So with that said,
all right.
this is the quick win for the win. I'm the Pineapple. I go by Happy, and I believe there's one thing that I wanted to say before we go.
Yep,
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Stay magical.
Oh, okay. See you guys tomorrow. Again, reach out if you're struggling and you're growing at your own pace, and at least take notes. That's all I want to say. All right.
Yes. Oh, here it goes. I just remembered.
So you actually had something. It wasn't the same magical.
I did. Here's a question you could ask yourself. Does it contain a selfless promise? Does it contain a selfish promise? Or elements of both? Or
that's for tomorrow.
Yes, it is. But I'm just saying, a considerate promise. Is that what it contains?
Okay.
I don't know. Stay magical.